We chose a different path, Mr. Speaker, a path that makes us less resilient on our trading partner, a path that allows us to be master in our own house, Mr. Speaker. We chose Canada. We chose Canada. And I hope every member of this House will choose Canada as well, Mr. Speaker.
I think someone's been watching my videos. Do any of you know how I can send one of the I Choose Canada hats to our finance minister? I think he needs to start wearing one. Speaking of choosing Canada, let me share this pic for you that was shared in the I Choose Canada group by Guillermo. This is a picture of Inglis Falls in Owen Sound, Ontario. Just beautiful. Thanks for sharing the pic. What's the news today? What's the news today? Shocking news, actually. Surprising news. It seems that Conservatives are turning their backs on Pierre Poilievre, and one in particular has crossed the floor to join the Liberal Party. This is Chris d'Entremont, former Conservative MP from West Nova Scotia, who has just crossed the floor to join the Liberal Party. That brings the total number of Liberals in the House of Commons now to 170, too short of a majority. And reported here on Politico are the comments he made explaining his decision. After serious consideration and thoughtful conversations with constituents and my family, I came to the clear conclusion there is a better path forward for our country. A better path forward than the one put forth by the leader of the Conservative Party. Prime Minister Mark Carney is offering that path, he said. He went on to say, after 5 years of serving in opposition, the people of Acadia, Annapolis, and all Canadians know that the moment we face today needs all of us to lead. Not with complaint, but with a confidence in a strong future. That's a direct dig at Pierre Poilievre. Not with complaint. Not with a leader that just wants to spew doom and gloom and complain and disagree with everything. He's tired of it, and he's crossed the floor. This is an important moment for the country to come together, and I'm looking forward to working with the Prime Minister to build the strong economic future that all our communities deserve, he said. If 2 more additional Conservative MPs join the Liberals, Carney's majority would be secured. d'Entremont said the Liberals have been courting other Conservatives who view themselves as centrists, but would not disclose who. You'd have to ask them, he said. Liberal Whip Mark Garretson said his party is a big tent and there's always seats on our side for people who want to join. Garretson said d'Entremont was leaving the Conservatives because the party has become more stridently right-wing under Poilievre. The reality is what we're seeing in the Conservative Party is that the progressive movement is dead. Quite frankly, Chris is a progressive Conservative, and that part of the party is dead. And this sorry state of affairs for the Conservative Party is a direct result of this guy here, their leader. He's the guy that I often describe as Mr. Doom and Gloom, and now it seems one of his own MPs has crossed the floor to join the Liberals, and he describes him as leading by complaint. And his leadership has alienated a significant part of the Conservative Party that considers themselves progressive conservatives, centrists, fiscally responsible, interested in the economy and policy and working together with other parties. You know, like the old days, Conservatives that would have supported Brian Mulroney or Stephen Harper. He has alienated that segment of his party because he's pandered to the extreme right wing of his party. He has chosen the path of just attack, disagree, come up with negative slogans, try and convince everyone that Canada's broken and everything's terrible. And he's chosen for political reasons to do this, to try and capture that, I'd say about 5%, the most right-leaning in the Canadian population, those who would have in the past maybe voted for the People's Party, that Maxime Bernier guy that ran the People's Party, the furthest to the right. Now, why has he done this? Well, there's a couple of reasons. Because that 5% bloc is very passionate and will vote in the leadership review. And he needs them to vote in the leadership review to keep him as leader. And the second reason is to secure their vote. He wants to make sure that that 5% bloc votes for him rather than shift to the People's Party, run by Maxime Bernier, the only other party that's further right than the Conservatives. So the Conservative Party today is facing this dilemma where it's easier to capture that 5% by turning more to the right than capturing an additional percent in the center by becoming more centrist. And Poilievre has chosen the path to capture that 5% to the extreme right. And unfortunately, that path includes disagreeing with everything, saying that everything's broken and everything's terrible, and spreading doom and gloom slogans nonstop. That pleases the 5% extreme right. And he's got their vote. But he doesn't have the support of the centrists now. Even in his own party are starting to turn their back on him, realizing, hey, wait. We can't govern Canada or move forward now, especially in this time now of economic uncertainty with respect to our relationship with the United States. We need a plan and we need to work together and we need to pass a budget and have a vision for the country that we can all work towards together. That's what the country needs now. And he's simply not interested in this. But there are Conservative members now, centrists, in the Conservative Party that are starting to feel now a little bit uncomfortable with just supporting doom and gloom or complaint type politics. And I think they're starting to realize now that this is not resonating with the majority of Canadians. It's resonating with the extreme right. And Pierre Poilievre is more concerned with maintaining his grip on that 5% on the right to save his leadership. He's due for a leadership review here at the beginning of January, and he will not turn his back on that base. That's his base. He needs them to win the leadership review. And that's what his three predecessors, the three previous Conservative leaders that lost to the Liberals in an election, all three of them were booted out in part by the far right of the party that votes in the leadership reviews. Remember, leadership reviews are not a vote from all Canadians. They're a vote from registered Conservatives. So that small right-wing bloc represents, although they might only represent 5, 6, 7% of the total Canadian population, they represent a much bigger percentage of those voting in the Conservative leadership race. So it's unfortunate for the Conservatives. They've chosen their lane now under this leader. They've chosen the lane that will never lead to victory. He's chosen the path that will just galvanize support for him from that right-wing base. Most recently, the most recent example is when he, on that podcast, when he just off the cuff said the leadership of the RCMP is despicable. They were covering up for crimes and Pierre Trudeau should be in jail. Comments that he tried to walk back. But those type of things resonate really well with that right-wing base that he has. And he feels he has to say those things because he gets positive reinforcement from that base. And he needs that base to maintain his leadership. But by doing that, he's alienated everyone that's in the center, including Chris d'Entremont here, who is now the new Liberal MP for West Nova Scotia. He considers himself a centrist, moderate Conservative, and he feels comfortable now under the leadership of Mark Carney, with Mark Carney's vision for Canada's future. And this is just another blow to the Conservative Party, and now they're going to have to ask themselves a serious question. Do we want this guy to be our leader? And they're going to have to decide that on sometime at the beginning of January next year when they have their leadership review. But before that leadership review even happens, they're going to have to vote on the budget. And that budget vote might tell us something. I'm going to pay very close attention to how the Conservative MPs vote. And if they vote in accordance with the wishes of their leader, if he decides that the Conservatives cannot support this budget, I want to see how all the MPs vote. And maybe which ones abstain from the vote. If some abstain, that might tell us something about their future considerations. There may be more Conservatives that cross the floor. We'll see how this unfolds. So I'm interested in your points of view in the comments section. Did you see this coming? I thought there was more of a chance for a few NDP members to cross the floor and join the Liberals, but I think I was thinking of the Liberal Party pre-Mark Carney with Justin Trudeau as the leader. Under those circumstances, yes, it would probably be more likely that some NDP members would cross the floor. But with Mark Carney as the leader now, with his laser focus on the economy, I think it makes sense now that there will be some Conservatives, especially those who would call themselves progressive Conservatives. Maybe we'll see more cross the floor. I'm interested in your comments in the comments section.
Well, we can't control what the U.S. does. We can decide what happens here. We can be masters in our own home and look out for everyone in it. We choose Canada.
How do I send Mark Carney one of my I Choose Canada hats? I think someone's been watching my videos. If you're enjoying the content, everyone, subscribe to the channel. I would appreciate it. If you want to support my work on a monthly basis, consider becoming a channel member by clicking the join button below. Have a fantastic rest of your day, everyone. And I'll catch you all on the next one.